the great house at Collinwood in the year 1840. A dark time for the Collins family. The clever plotting of two evil men has incriminated Quentin in a series of events involving witchcraft. Now Randall Drew has been found murdered with a mark of the devil beside his body, and Quentin is being accused of the crime. It appears that soon Gerard, who is under the sinister spell of the warlock Judah Zachary, will fulfill his plan to see Quentin Collins beheaded for witchcraft.
Mr. Collins?
Jim, have you questioned everybody?
I have.
And?
I have no choice, Mr. Collins. You are under arrest for murder.
Jim, why am I accused of murder? On what grounds?
That will all come out at the trial.
Now, what reason would I have for killing that man? Can you tell me that? A man has to have a motive for a murder.
From what I've heard here tonight, it appears that you might have a motive.
But of course I might have, but I don't. Jim, can't you see what they're trying to do? Someone's trying to destroy me.
Mr. Collins, look, it'll be better for all of us if you'll just come along with me quietly.
All right. But I'd like to see my son first.
Of course. But try to make it brief, Mr. Collins.
Dad? Dad!
Yes, Father?
Would you come into the drawing room, please?
Yes, Father. Oh, hello, Mr. Ward.
Hello, Tad.
Something wrong?
I'll just wait for you outside, sir.
Why is the constable here? Is it about Uncle Randall? Have they found the man who...
No, they haven't found the man. Few people think they have, but they haven't. Mr. Ward's just doing what he must do at the present time. You know, I love you very much. You know that, don't you? And you know that there isn't anything I wouldn't do to make sure that you don't get hurt by anyone or anything. Sometimes, under certain circumstances, the world seems very cruel at times, and we've got to be very strong and make it all good again.
They're not going to take you away, are they?
No, not for long.
They don't think you did it.
No. No, but Tad, I do have to go away with Mr. Ward for a while. But now you listen to me. I didn't do anything wrong. No matter what you hear or see, I want you to believe nothing bad about me.
I know you didn't do anything. They can't take you away. You wouldn't do something like that.
You listen to me, boy. I'm going to be back here before you even know I'm gone. Besides, between me and you, they don't have much of a case against me. Now, while I'm away, I want you to cooperate with Miss Harridge, because she is very fond of you. You do that for me?
Yes, sir.
Good night.
Good night, Father.
Are you ready, Mr. Collins?
In a minute, I'd like to talk to my son's governess.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir.
Jim, and you've got kids of your own. I just want to make sure that he's taken care of.
Well, I guess a few more minutes won't do any harm.
Thanks. I'll go find her.
I'm sorry, sir. I'll have to go with you.
Don't let them take him away. You can't let them take him away, Grandfather.
My boy, you must calm down. I don't understand what you're talking about. Take who away?
My father. They think he murdered Uncle Randall.
Quentin?
They're taking him off to jail now.
Oh, no, Quentin. Oh, no. Dear God, don't let it be true. Dear God, don't let it be true.
I don't know where she could have gone.
I'm afraid we can't wait any longer.
Well, I've got to leave her a note.
I just heard. Why did you do it?
Well, if you kindly tell me what you're talking about, perhaps I could explain.
Why did you murder Randall Drew?
Did I?
I just heard from Trask.
That I murdered him?
No, that he is dead.
And you first assumed that I was responsible.
What did he know? What did he discover?
The fact is, Charles, that Randall Drew discovered a little too much. He found the mask. He broke open the lock on the box where I had hidden it.
And you had good cause to do away with him.
Yes, but I didn't murder him. Difficult to believe, isn't it? Especially what I've done after Desmond and Lorna Bell, and, of course, poor old Mordecai's cows. No, my friend. I did not murder Randall Drew.
But the devil's mark was on Randall.
I know.
And Mordecai in the woods, whoever followed him, left it there.
I know that, too. It seems as though we have a friend.
A friend?
Someone wanted Randall dead. Whatever his reasons were, doesn't really matter as long because they happen to coincide with our cause.
One of the coven, do you think?
I think no. No, I'm sure it's someone quite on the outside of our little group. Someone that wanted to hurt Quentin Collins as we did. Isn't it amazing timing? Soon Quentin Collins will have no head at all, and I will be master of Collinwood.
You forget Daniel.
Oh, no, my friend. Not at all.
Yes? And how do you plan to deal with him?
Don't you really know, Charles? Well, you just come to Collinwood with me, and I'll show you what I plan to do to Daniel Collins.
I want to talk to you alone. You get out.
Mr. Collins, I
Shut
can't
up and get out! He's my son, this is my house, and you're not welcome in it. Out! I said to myself over and over, dear God, don't let it be true. How could it not be true? I warned you against your strange fascination for the occult, against your need to know things beyond what our finite minds are incapable of comprehending. But oh no, you wouldn't be stopped.
Father, you've been very ill. Please don't upset yourself.
Do you know that I went to the top of your stairs and I had a vision? I saw you killing Lorna Bell. Does that mean nothing to you?
I only know that somebody has been filling your mind with evil distortions while you have not been well.
And who has been filling my mind, Quentin? Who and why?
Father, if I knew the answer to that, everything would be all right.
Oh, I think not, Quentin. No, there are too many unanswerable questions. What about Desmond? Is it not true that you were fighting with him shortly before he was stricken?
I simply had a disagreement with a friend.
And Mordecai's cattle, you've always hated them.
I don't hate him. He's an unpleasant man, but I don't hate him, and I had nothing to do with the death of his cattle.
How I long to believe you. But how can I? Everything points to your guilt, everything. And now this dreadful scandal. now that you have violated our family's honor.
Father, for the last time, I am innocent. Please believe that.
That I should have lived to know such pain, such sorrow.
Father.
Quentin!
Is anybody there?
Gerard, in here!
No, I don't want a doctor.
You must have one.
No.
Would you please help him to his room?
Yes, here, let's help Charles.
Oh, my son, please come back to me. Please come back to me. Now, what am I going to do, I wonder?
Well, you're not alone in this, Quentin. Believe me. And believe me that I will do everything in my power to make sure that you get out of it.
Thank you. You're very kind. Oh, Gerard, I would appreciate it if you'd look after Daphne. I know that she'll be needing your help.
Of course. I'll be more than happy.
Thank you.
Mr. Collins, Mr. Dawson is making your father comfortable. Mr. Stiles,
Yes.
Mr. Collins would like to see you.
Thank you. Now, Quentin, you mustn't worry about anything. Try to forget it. I'll go up and see your father.
I'm afraid that we've got to go now, sir.
Everything seems so peaceful in here. I really wish it was.
Let's go.
The constable said that you wished to see me, Mr. Collins.
Yes, Gerard. Thank you, Dawson.
Certainly. I'll wait downstairs.
You're a fine young man, Gerard. I only wish that my son would have turned out as well. I'm not a man who could cry out for help, but now I have no choice. I trust you, Gerard. I need your help.
Well, I'm honored, sir. And of course I will do everything in my power to help you.
I knew you would. Thank you. I've always disliked morbidity. But at the same time, I have a respect for practicality. I'm dying, Gerard.
Mr. Collins, you mustn't say that. Believe me, you'll be up and about no time.
I know that I will not live to see my son's trial. I will die before I know what they have decided about him. But my greatest sorrow is that deep down in my heart, I know that I cannot feel that he is innocent. So, other people must be considered. I feel that I must change my will. It will break my heart, but Quentin must be cut away. Now, however, before I do this, it is necessary for me to know the truth. The truth, not what Quentin says, not what the court says, but the truth. There must be a way to establish the truth. You will help me, Gerard.
Mr. Collins.
Say that you will.
Mr. Collins, you know that I will do anything to help you. And to find the truth, we will. Believe me, we will.
Is that you, Jim?
Yes?
Well, where have you been? You said you were coming right back. All the juice has gone out of the stew.
Good evening, Mrs. Ward.
What is he doing here?
He'll...
Why did you bring him here?
He'll be staying with us for a few days.
What did he do?
We don't know that he's done anything. Will you open the cell, please?
I certainly will open the cell. The faster, the better. Don't take your eyes off of him. You hold right on to him till we get him into the cell. you know what he is? He's a witch, and you know it. He's a witch.
Mildred, we don't know that.
You know what he did to my father's cattle. Isn't that enough?
This has nothing to do with Mordecai's cattle.
But isn't that enough? It's enough for me to know that he's probably the one that's behind all the awful things that have been happening around here. I know one thing. I'm going to get an extra lock to put on that cell.
Oh, don't worry, Mrs. Ward. I'm not going to try and escape.
Jim! Jim, that ring! It's the devil's mark. He's wearing the devil's mark. He's the one. Murderer! Murderer!
How is it? Everything is splendid. Tell me, Charles, how would you like to play a ghost?
A ghost?
Yes. We are going to have a little seance, and you are to enact the part of Randall Drew.
What are you talking about?
But it's really quite simple, my friend. You see, Daniel Collins wants proof of Quentin's innocence or his guilt, and therefore we're going to give it to him. Of course, it'll be fake, but he won't really know the difference.
But what of his condition? Isn't the seance dangerous?
Yes, it is, but you mustn't worry about that, Charles. You mustn't worry. You will be well prepared in every detail, in every movement, oh, and in every word.
I'm not sure that I want to go ahead with this, Gerard. You know my reservations on this sort of thing. I've always considered it evil. I'm frightened now. I know I agreed to do it, but I think I want to change my mind.
Mr. Collins, believe me, everything will be all right. Now, you just must relax. There is no danger involved. Everything is quite harmless. And I am sure that when it is all over, you will be very, very pleased at the final results.
You're right. Yes, I know you're right. Well, what is it you want me to do?
First of all, we must place our hands together and form a circle. It must not be broken under any circumstance. That is very important. Now relax. Relax your mind and concentrate very deeply on Randall Drew. We seek the spirit that died but yesterday. We, mortals though we are, seek the spirit of one Randall Drew. Randall Drew, if you can hear me, respond. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? What happened? It's all right, Mr. Collins. The spirit is entering the body. Spirit, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
What is your name?
Randall Drew.
There is a man here who seeks your guidance. A man you have known and loved for many years. His name is Daniel Collins.
Daniel.
Will you help this good man?
I will.
Will you tell us the name of the
Wait!
man?
No, Gerard. I don't want to know.
Mr. Collins is about ready to tell. Please. Spirit, will you tell us the name of the man who murdered you?
I will.
Please, Gerard,
name,
please.
The name.
Quentin.
No! 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 I'm sorry I did that just now. I'm all right. I've always known the truth. It's the certainty that makes it so unbearable. I'm all right now, thank you.
Mr. Collins, I'm so sorry. I was expecting someone else.
Oh, we must live with it, as difficult as it is. I know now what I must do.
What is that?
I must change my will. I must choose a new heir.